You may have heard that to fix your acne, you need to cut out dairy, sugar, and gluten. While this holds some truth, there's more to it than what we've been led to believe. Maybe you've tried it for months, obsessing over every label, scrutinizing every ingredient list, wondering if that trace amount of whey protein in your granola bar was going to trigger another breakout, and your skin barely changed. I know because I've been there myself. Then I was frustrated and convinced that my diet had nothing to do with my skin. Or worse, I was blaming myself for not being strict enough, not having enough willpower, wondering what I was doing wrong. Hey, beautiful soul. My name is Alba, and the truth is your diet has everything to do with your skin. But you've been given the wrong rulebook. The secret isn't about cutting out more food, okay? It's about building a body that's resilient enough to handle them. We've been asking the wrong question all along. It's not, is this food bad for me? The real question is my internal system stable enough to process what I'm eating? I spent years eliminating food after food, living on basically air and anxiety. And my cystic acne just laughed at me, bleeding through my pillowcase night after night. It wasn't until I understood these two hidden systems that everything changed. Not just my skin, but my entire relationship with food. Forget dairy for a second. Actually, forget everything you think you know about bad foods. The single biggest dietary driver of hormonal acne is unstable blood sugar. And here's what's happening inside your body that I used to not fully understand. When you eat a high-carb breakfast, maybe that healthy acai bowl or whole grain toast, your blood sugar spikes like a rocket, causing a flood of the hormone insulin to rush in and try to manage all of that glucose. And for women especially, this insulin surge can signal your ovaries to produce more androgens, driving oil production and those deep, painful cystic breakouts along your jawline. But here's where it gets really interesting. You with me? Your skin cells have insulin receptors too. So when insulin floods your system, it's not just affecting your ovaries, it's directly telling your sebaceous glands, your oil factories, to go into overdrive production mode. Think of it like this. Your body's running a factory, and suddenly someone hits the emergency alarm, and every machine starts working at triple speed, producing way more oil than your pores can handle, creating the perfect storm for bacterial overgrowth and inflammation. And then, this is the part that blew my mind when I learned it. That blood sugar crash that follows, that's when your body releases cortisol, your stress hormone, to try and bring your blood sugar back up. And cortisol literally thickens the oil in your pores, making it stickier, harder to expel naturally, more likely to get trapped and form those underground volcanoes we call cystic acne. It's like your body's creating the perfect recipe for breakouts every single time you ride that blood sugar roller coaster. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, repeat. I remember standing behind that pharmacy counter watching customer after customer pick up their isotretinoin, that's Accutane for those keeping track at home, and thinking, what if we just stabilize their blood sugar first? Because here's the data. Studies show that people with acne have higher insulin levels than those with clear skin, even when they're the same weight. It's not about the food itself, it's about how violently your blood sugar responds to it. Now, everyone tells you to take zinc for your acne, your dermatologist, your esthetician, that wellness influencer on Instagram. But what they don't tell you is that minerals work in pairs, like dance partners. And if you try and take high doses of zinc without balancing it with copper, you can throw your entire system out of whack, creating new problems while trying to solve old ones. Of course, before you go ahead and directly buy copper, it's always best to check your levels. It's the ratio between minerals that matters more than the quantity of a single one. Boom. For me, it was a lesson learned. This mineral imbalance, and stay with me here because this is crucial, can affect everything from your thyroid function to your adrenal stress response, all of which shows up on your skin like a detailed report card of what's happening inside. Your thyroid needs the right balance of selenium and iodine. Your adrenals need magnesium and sodium in proper proportions. And when these ratios get skewed, your body starts sending out inflammatory signals that manifest as acne, especially those stubborn hormonal patterns around your jawline and chin. Think of your minerals like an orchestra. You need the violins and the cellos playing in harmony, not just one instrument drowning out all the others. When I was taking massive doses of zinc trying to clear my skin, I actually created a copper deficiency that made my energy tank, my hair start falling out, and ironically, My acne got worse because copper is essential for wound healing and collagen production. My skin literally couldn't repair itself properly. Here's what unfortunately most dermatologists won't tell you. That hormonal acne you're battling, it's often a magnesium deficiency in disguise. Magnesium helps regulate cortisol, supports progesterone production, and reduces inflammation at the cellular level. But we're all walking around completely depleted because stress burned through magnesium like fire through paper. And our soil is so depleted that even our vegetables don't contain the minerals they used to 50 years ago. One study found that the magnesium content in vegetables has declined by up to 80% since the 1940s. Make sense? And then there's the sodium-potassium pump, basically your cell's battery system, which controls how nutrients get in and waste gets out of every single cell in your body, including your skin cells. When this ratio is off, your cells can't detoxify properly, leading to congestion, inflammation, and you guessed it, more acne. It's like trying to clean your house, but all the trash cans are full and the garbage truck never comes. So, now that you understand these hidden systems, let me give you the exact framework I use with the people I've helped. Practical, empowering tips that focus on stabilizing your internal terrain, not creating a list of forbidden foods that makes you feel like a failure every time you eat something wrong. At every meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner, follow this simple rule that changed everything for me. Protein, fat, and fiber. Before you even think about the carb, before you even look at that piece of bread or that bowl of rice, make sure you have a quality source of protein, a healthy fat, and fiber on your plate. This trio works like a protective shield, slowing down the absorption of sugar, preventing that insulin spike that drives hormonal chaos and tells your oil glands to go crazy. Picture this. Instead of starting your day with oatmeal topped with honey, banana, which sounds really healthy, but is basically sugar on top of sugar on top of sugar, you're going to flip it. Start with 2 eggs cooked in grass-fed butter. Add half an avocado, throw in some sauteed spinach, and then, if you want, add a small portion of oats on the side. Same foods, completely different hormonal response. Your blood sugar rises gently like a sunrise instead of spiking like a rocket launch. And here's the beautiful thing. You're not eliminating anything. You're just changing the order and the proportions. That pasta dinner you love? Great. But first eat a big salad with some olive oil and some grilled chicken, and then enjoy a reasonable portion of pasta. Your body will process it completely differently when it's cushioned first by protein, fat, and fiber. This isn't restriction. This is strategy. So that's first. Now, the second tip I wanted to give you is to aim to get at least 30 grams of protein in your first meal of the day. And I know that sounds like a lot, but stick with me here. This sets your blood sugar on a stable path for the entire day, reducing cravings, preventing that afternoon energy crash that leads to reaching for sugary snacks, and most importantly, keeping your insulin and androgens in check. Think of it as laying a strong foundation for a house. Everything you build on top will be more stable. 30 grams looks like 3 eggs with an ounce of cheese, or a protein smoothie with a quality protein powder and Greek yogurt, or last night's leftover chicken with some vegetables. I know we've been programmed to think that breakfast means cereal or toast or fruit, but those things are literally the worst things you can eat first thing in the morning if you're trying to heal your skin. Your cortisol is naturally highest in the morning. Adding a blood sugar spike on top is like pouring gasoline on a fire. When I started doing this, and I'm talking within 3 days, my energy stabilized, my afternoon cravings disappeared, and those painful underground cysts that used to pop up every month around my period, they stopped forming. Not overnight, but gradually, consistently, my skin stopped producing those deep, angry welts that no amount of topical treatment could touch. Third, instead of cutting out carbs, because let's be honest, that's not sustainable and it makes you miserable, earn them. The best time to eat more carbohydrates is after a workout, when your muscles are primed to soak them up for glycogen replenishment. Not after a long day of sitting, when they're more likely to spike your insulin and trigger that whole cascade we just talked about. Your muscles are like sponges after exercise. They'll absorb those carbs without triggering the same insulin response. This doesn't mean you need to become a gym rat. Even a 20-minute walk makes yourself more insulin sensitive. A few push-ups, some squats in your living room, movement changes how your body processes glucose. It's like opening more doors for the sugar to enter your muscles instead of floating around in your bloodstream causing problems. And here's something radical. If you're going to eat something sweet, eat it as dessert after a proper meal, never on an empty stomach. That piece of chocolate after dinner when you've already got protein and fat in your system, So much better than that 3 p.m. candy bar when your blood sugar is already wobbly. Same food, completely different impact on your skin. Still breathing? And since we talked about mineral ratios, here's my practical approach. Instead of mega dosing individual minerals, focus on mineral-rich whole foods that naturally contain the right ratios. Oysters for zinc and copper together, dark chocolate, yes, chocolate for magnesium, seafood for iodine and selenium, bone broth for literally everything your skin needs to heal. Food first, supplements second, always. And if you're supplementing, never take zinc on an empty stomach or without copper in your protocol somewhere. A good ratio is 15 milligrams of zinc to 2 milligrams of copper. Take magnesium glycinate before bed. It'll help you sleep better while supporting your skin healing. But remember, supplements are the icing, not the cake. The cake is real, whole foods eaten in the right combinations to support stable blood sugar. Here's what I need you to understand, beautiful soul. Your body isn't broken. When you get cystic acne after eating certain foods, that's not your body betraying you. It's your body communicating that your internal systems need support. It's like a check engine light. Annoying, yes, but ultimately trying to protect you from bigger problems down the road. Think about this. Your skin is your largest elimination organ, right? When your liver is overwhelmed, when your gut is struggling, when your lymphatic system is congested, your skin picks up the slack. Those breakouts aren't random. They're your body's way of saying, hey, we need help processing all of this, and the normal channels are backed up, so we're gonna push it out through the skin. Once you see it this way, acne becomes data, not drama. I spent years, literally years, hating my body for giving me acne, feeling like I was cursed, broken, genetically doomed to have terrible skin. Standing in front of that mirror every morning, watching new cysts form while the old ones were still healing, feeling like my face was a battlefield I couldn't escape. But when I finally understood that my body was trying to protect me, trying to eliminate toxins and inflammation the only way it knew how, everything shifted. Not just my approach to healing, but my entire relationship with my body. The dairy question everyone asks? Here's the truth. It's not that dairy is universally evil. It's that conventional dairy contains hormones, antibiotics, and proteins that can trigger inflammation in your gut if your gut lining is compromised. Which, let's be honest, most of ours are from years of processed foods, medications, and stress. But when you heal your gut, balance your minerals, and stabilize your blood sugar, many people find they can tolerate high-quality dairy again. It's not the food, it's the terrain. Okay? Same with gluten. It's not that gluten is the devil. It's that modern wheat is heavily processed, sprayed with glyphosate, and our guts aren't equipped to handle it in the quantities we're eating. But more importantly, when you're eating gluten at every meal, you're probably not getting enough protein, not getting enough minerals, and riding that blood sugar roller coaster all day long. Fix the system, and suddenly your tolerance improves. I have clients who can now eat pizza on a Friday night without breaking out. Not because pizza became healthy, but because their Monday through Thursday is so solid, their minerals are balanced, their blood sugar is stable, their gut is healed, that their body can handle and process that inflammatory load without pushing it out through their skin. That's true food freedom. Not avoiding everything forever, but building a resilient system that can handle life. Now that you understand this, let me share something that might blow your mind. Your skin issues often mirror your digestive issues, just 2 to 3 weeks delayed. That breakout you're dealing with today, it's probably from something that happened in your gut 2 weeks ago. The timeline matches perfectly with skin cell turnover rates and inflammatory cascade patterns. Your skin and your gut developed from the same embryonic tissue. They're intimately connected in ways Western medicine is just beginning to understand. When you eat in a way that supports your gut, adequate protein for intestinal repair, fermented foods for beneficial bacteria, mineral-rich foods for enzyme function, you're literally feeding your skin from the inside out. Those expensive serums and treatments, they're trying to do from the outside what your body naturally does from the inside when you give it the right materials. And here's something no one talks about. Your relationship with food affects your skin too. The stress of restrictive dieting, the cortisol spike from food guilt, the inflammation from binge restrict cycles, all of that shows up on your face. When I stopped demonizing food and started seeing it as information and medicine, when I stopped the war with my plate, my skin started healing in ways that no elimination diet ever achieved. Stop deleting foods from your diet and start stabilizing the systems in your body. True freedom isn't about avoiding pizza for the rest of your life. It's about building a body that can handle a slice of pizza without having a cystic meltdown the next week. Listen, I know you might be thinking, how do I know if my issue is blood sugar or minerals or gut health or all of the above? And that's exactly why I created a video that walks you through the exact first step, the one that changed everything for me and for hundreds of others. If you're ready to stop the food fear and start the healing journey, watch my video on how I healed my acne from the inside out by doing this first. I'll put it right here for you. In that video, I break down the exact protocol I used to identify my primary root cause and the first step I took that made all the other steps actually work. Because here's the thing, when you address the right root cause, everything else falls into place like dominoes. This isn't about perfection, beautiful soul. It's about progression. It's about tiny shift by tiny shift, meal by meal, choice by choice, building a body that supports clear, radiant skin from the inside out. You don't need another list of foods to avoid. You need a framework for understanding your body's unique language. Remember, I walked this path. 34 dermatologist visits, $60,000 down the drain, years of my life spent hiding behind makeup and canceling plans because of my skin. If I could go back and tell that version of me one thing, it would be this. Stop fighting your body and start supporting it. Stop eliminating foods and start stabilizing systems. Stop looking for the perfect diet and start building metabolic flexibility. Your skin wants to be clear. That's its natural state. We just need to remove the obstacles and provide the support. And it starts with understanding these two systems I've shared with you today. Master your blood sugar, balance your minerals, and watch how your relationship with food and your skin transforms. See you in the next video, beautiful soul. Keep going. Your skin is about to thank you.